So I'm gonna be making some spleen tonight. I'm a little bit bummed because I made it the other night, and unfortunately I had my camera phone against the refrigerator, so there's a lot of buzzing in that video. So I'm recooking it. I'm gonna do it a little bit differently this time. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna edit in some of my reactions so you can see what my initial reaction to eating spleen was. So what I've got here, I'm gonna make it real simple. I'm just gonna do it like I do most of my stuff. I'm gonna prep it for the week. So I'm gonna cut my spleen into some little pieces. What I did initially was I sliced open the middle and put some ground beef in there, but I'm not looking to dress things up. I just wanna have my nutrition. And speaking of nutrition, these are all of the things that are in spleen. And one of them is phosphorus, which we don't talk about enough. Phosphorus is really important for muscle building. It is really important for hair health and teeth health. And if you want to try to get it from a non-organ meat source, your first thing is Brazil nuts. Brazil nuts, if you eat too many of them, you'll die. You'll have selenium toxicity if you eat them regularly. So if you want to get phosphorus in your diet, it's really hard to get it from a non-organ meat type of food. The other place you can get it from is soy, and we don't like soy because soy screws up our thyroid. So if you want to get your phosphorus, you want to get it from your spleen or your other organ meats. B12, riboflavin, so anyone with the MTHFR polymorphism, their slow methylation cycle, you feel anxious, on edge sometimes, it could be because of that. This helps speed up the methylation cycle. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take my spleen right here. I've also got my Dollar Rub Club. There's our Dollar Rub Club. I'm gonna use Louisiana because I feel like spleen is a food that they'd eat down in Louisiana. I also played for the Saints for a very short amount of time. Gonna use some real salt, Redmond's real salt. The reason that I love this is because it's from a dry lake bed, so it's not polluted with ocean contaminants. And some pork leaf fat, basically lard. It's a saturated fat. Why do we like saturated fats over polyunsaturated fats? Vegetable oils, basically. Vegetable oils make you insulin sensitive, so your cells fill up with fat a lot easier. Saturated fats make you insulin resistant, so you actually can lose weight by eating the same amount of, or lose fat by eating the same amount of calories and protein in a food source, depending on which cooking oil you use. So I'm gonna get started. I'm gonna make it real simple. I'm just gonna cut it up into some small pieces, throw it on the pan, fry it up a little bit, and eat some spleen. All right, so I'm gonna show you what it looks like. That is spleen. When you get it washed up, it doesn't look so bad. So I'm just gonna cut them up into some small pieces. All right, so now we got our pieces here. Let's get some sea salt on them. I love a lot of salt. And a little bit more of the seasoning here. Just a little bit, I don't want to go too much with that. All right, I've got my lard in the pan. We're gonna get this thing fired up. All right, so I've got my pan nice and hot, and all the oil is, all the lard is nice and bubbly. All right, so that's all I'm gonna put in there. All right, I'm only gonna make a little bit because I'm gonna prep the rest of them for the week, so I have a couple for the week. Actually, also prepped. So right here, that's kidney. I got one whole kidney in there. I cut this up and I'll have like 3 or 4 pieces a day. And so I love kidney, just so you know. It's one of my favorite things to eat of all time. For whatever reason, I just feel really good when I eat kidney. And I just want to eat more and more of it. The other thing that I have is, I don't like to eat liver, so what I do is I make liver meatballs. So I put 2/3 ground beef, grass-fed, and 1/3 liver in a processor. And I get it all jumbled up and make meatballs out of it. And then what I usually do is just make some with an egg in the morning. Just crumble it up on the pan, throw an egg on it, some salt, good to go. Usually I don't even eat lunch because I just feel so fulfilled up until dinner time. But I really have to force myself to eat lunch a lot of times because I'm just not hungry. It turns out to be 3 o'clock all the time. I'm like, oh geez, I didn't eat lunch. Should I wait for dinner, go have a snack? And then usually I just go have another meatball or a hard-boiled egg. All right, a little balsamic vinaigrette, a little hot sauce. Want to know where you can get some spleen? There's 2 places that I usually shop for my meats online. One is Butcher Box and the other one is US Wellness Meats. If you live near a butcher, sometimes you can get spleen, but probably really what you're going to be able to get at the butcher is liver and kidney. Also, here's another thing. If you have any organ meats that you want me to try next, just put them in the comments here. Don't put Rocky Mountain oysters because that's going to be the last thing. I'm eventually going to eat them, but it's going to be the last thing that I eat. All right, so we're done. So I'm going to show you what this looks like. Right? It really does look like a little sirloin tip. It's tasty. It just tastes like meat, but it also tastes like you're eating a balloon. So, oh. Yeah, I mean, I could eat this all day, like no problem. And you kind of would have to be chewing on it all day because it's like a friggin' balloon. Anyway, it's super tasty. You should really try it. Like, honestly, like it's super tasty probably because I prepared it well, but there's no gamey taste to it at all. Like, you don't know that you're eating something weird out of the animal. So, it's fine. I like it. It tastes fine. It tastes fine. But I was hoping without the skin it wouldn't be as gummy, as rubbery, but it's still a little rubbery. Once again, you're not always making food for it to be dessert. You want food to be nutrition. All right, so here's what we got. I mean, it literally looks like sirloin tips. It is less chewy without that layer of fascia on it. It's fine. I mean, honestly, it's fine. I'm probably not going to eat a lot of it. It's not one of my favorite organ meats. Kidney's my number 1. All right, so let's just do a little ranking of where my organ meats are so far. So I've got spleen. I'm going to put that 3rd on my list. Underneath that is heart. Heart's hard. Kidney is my number 1 for taste, but for nutrition, liver is really the most nutrient-dense food on the planet. Eat your kidney, eat your liver, try some spleen. Keep watching me. I'm gonna eat bull balls at some time at some point. and put down the vegetables.